have uploaded the globe candy dome to Design Space, and now I'm going to ungroup, and I'm just going to hide all the big pieces because we are going to turn this into a print then cut piece. The first thing I'm going to do is make it a little bit lighter so it's easier for us to see our text. Then I'm going to go over to text, and I'm going to type whatever I want to print on that circle. So let's just do something simple first, class of 2023. Then I recommend starting with a font size of 24, which you can do up here. Then you're going to take the text, put it kind of centered over this circle. Whoops. Then I'm going to select both, and I'm going to center horizontally. Now I'm going to click on the text, and I'm going to go up to here, and I'm going to click curve. And then I'm just going to slowly move that and watch the text curve until it's at a curve that I like. So it's kind of centered on there, and that looks great. I'm going to put that aside. We're going to do another one. Now I'm going to do text again, and I'm going to do something more personalized. So congratulations, Kyle, class of 2023. Can you guess what year I did this? Now, because this is so much longer, we're going to need a smaller font size. You can always change it when you're curving it, but it's a little more complicated. So I'm going to try 18. Grab both of those, center align. Now I'm going to grab this. Now you can also change your font to whatever fonts you own or whatever fonts are free. In Design Space, you're just going to go up here and pick them. I'm going to curve this, and you'll see we have to do more of a curve to get that looking good. So if you over curve, not good. Under curve, kind of weird, and you'll cut off part of it. So just really slowly pull that until you're happy with it. Okay. Now, this is super, super important. I'm going to cut these onto school colors. So, I mean, you could do it onto earth colors, so green or blue if you want it to be a traditional globe. But for graduation, I'm going to print like onto red because the school colors are red and gold. You want to make sure you take these two circles, if you're going to print on colored paper, and change it to white. Because if you leave it gray, it's going to print kind of this gray tone onto your colored paper, which isn't what you want. Now, if you want to print on white paper, and you always want to use a cardstock, then you can pick whichever color. So say the school color is green, and then maybe you're going to change the text to white. So it'll print like that. You can do whatever, but I'm going to print this onto color. So I need to make sure I have the text, the color I want it to print, and then I have these circles white. Now I'm going to grab each of these. I'm going to flatten them individually. We can do 2 on Cricut to print and cut. So we're going to attach. And now it's happy with us, and it shows that that is going to work. And then we're going to choose continue. Send to printer. Now this is also really, really important. Turn off add bleed. You do not want it to add bleed around these letters or it's just not going to print right. And then you're going to send it to your printer, and then you're going to follow the directions. You're going to choose your material. I'm using a medium cardstock. Load your tools and cut it, and then you are good to go. Now let's put this graduation candy globe together. Here's everything you're going to need. A glue gun. I'm going to use a tape runner. You can also use regular glue. I have a pad of paper to put under it so I don't get glue dots on my workspace, foam dots, all the paper pieces, a half of a clear fillable ornament, and then to make the diploma, I'm just going to use a 3x3 piece of paper from this memo pad and a ribbon, and I'm going to put money inside here instead of candy. You can obviously do either. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put together the top. So the front part of this. So you can decide, now this part is you need to line up perfectly with the inside circle. So these 2 circles, and that is what is going to go over the globe. Now you can decide if you want your stand to go over top or under this part. Well, I think we just answered it, because if it goes over top, it's hitting your words. So we're going to be putting that underneath. So to make sure that you get it lined up perfectly, we're going to leave that there without gluing it down. And I'm just going to put adhesive dots on the back of this. And then I'm going to line it up, touch down the bottom part, and then move this, and then press this down the rest of the way. Then we know we have it where we want it to be, and it's going to not be underneath this part. So you have a nice space here between your stand and your congratulations globe. Then we're just going to put the dot adhesive on the back of this, and we're going to put this on and try and keep that level. You know, unless you want it on the side, you can put, you can put it however you want. Maybe you want it that way. And then you're just lining up that center. Now we need to get the candy, or in this case, money dome, done. You could put money and candy in there. Now you're going to take this, put the back on top, and then flip it over. And then for this design, you want this hook part facing down, because that's where you have the most bulk for covering it, because it will make the paper bubble a teeny bit. I'm going to turn on my glue gun, but before I glue it down, I'm going to put the top over the bottom and line up the edges so that I know exactly where that candy dome needs to be glued so that it gets lined up correctly. If I just guess, everything's going to be off kilter. Then I'm just going to run a bead of glue right around the edge and make sure it is touching both the paper and the plastic. It's kind of like caulking. Redoing your bathroom, around your windows, it's going to seal that nicely. This would be great to use as a gift, like I said, with money in it, for if you're giving a gift to a graduate, or if you're having a graduation party, you could just make a bunch with the class of 2023. You could, if you want to, personalize for the graduates' friends and have all of them have names. It could be great for a senior night. So many ways to use this. And it could be preschool graduation, tech school graduation, anything. Now we're just going to line up these edges and get that sealed. And you'll see it bounces up a little bit down here because we're going over the hanger of the ornament. That's why I always put it towards the biggest part of the paper. So that's great. Now we're going to make our diploma, which basically involves rolling up a piece of paper. You could write a little message. You know, if you're giving this as a gift, you could put your message in the diploma and make sure they know there's a message in the diploma, because they might not realize and not open it. And then I'm just going to tie this ribbon around there. I always do a much longer piece than I need because it's hard. It's going to be hard to knot if you keep it small. And I'm just going to grab some scissors and trim that. Then you can either glue this down. I'm going to use the little foam adhesive dots and just put 2 on there, or squares rather. Gives it a little bit dimension, and I feel like this is going to help this element stay on here a little bit better. Put that there. So that can be done like that. Now let me show you what it'll look like with the foam dots. So we're going to put the foam dots on the back. You can put as many as you want, but really 3 or 4 is going to do the trick. We're just going to place that down. And so now we have a little dimension with the rolled up diploma and having that popped up a little bit, and then this popped up a little bit too. So totally personal preference. You can turn that wherever you want. You could have printed and have it say class of 2023 going all the way around. You could put the school name, anything that you want. So that is how easy that is to do.